Hello everybody, I'm Carl Beard, and today we're going to talk about hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide, also known as H2S, is a colorless gas known for its pungent, rotten egg odor at low concentrations. It is extremely flammable and highly toxic. H2S is used or produced in several industries such as oil and gas refining, mining, and paper processing. Hydrogen sulfide also naturally occurs in sewers, manure pits, well water, oil and gas wells, and volcanoes. Because it's heavier than air, hydrogen sulfide can collect in low-lying and enclosed spaces. Its presence makes work in confined spaces potentially very dangerous. The health effects of hydrogen sulfide depend on how much H2S a worker breathes and for how long. However, many effects are seen at even low concentrations. Effects range from mild headaches or eye irritation to very serious unconsciousness and death. The recommended exposure limit in a 10-minute ceiling is 10 parts per million. OSHA permissible exposure limits are as follows. General industry ceiling limit, 20 parts per million. General industry peak limit, 50 parts per million, up to 10 minutes if no other exposure during the shift. Construction 8-hour limit, 10 parts per million. Shipyard 8-hour limit, 10 parts per million. The symptoms and effects of H2S vary depending on the concentration. From 0.01 to 1.5, you'll begin to smell the rotten egg smell. At 2 to 5 parts per million, prolonged exposure may cause nausea, tearing of the eyes, headaches, or loss of sleep. At 20 parts per million, possible fatigue, loss of appetite, headache, poor memory, and dizziness. At 50 to 100 parts per million, you will have a digestive upset and loss of appetite. At 100 parts per million, you have coughing, eye irritation, loss of smell after 2 to 15 minutes, altered breathing, drowsiness after 15 to 30 minutes, throat irritation after 1 hour, and gradual increase in severity of symptoms over several hours. Death may occur after 48 hours. At 100 to 150 parts per million, you have loss of smell. At 200 to 300 parts per million, a respiratory tract irritation after an hour. At 500 to 700 parts per million, you'll be staggering, you collapse in 5 minutes, serious damage to the eyes in 30 minutes, death after 30 to 60 minutes. At 700 to 1,000 parts per million, you'll have rapid unconsciousness, knockdown, or immediate collapse within 1 to 2 breaths. Breathing stops, death within minutes. 1,000 to 2,000 parts per million is nearly instant death. Some people who breathe in levels of hydrogen sulfide high enough to become unconscious continue to have headaches and poor attention span, memory, and motor functions even after waking up. People who have asthma may be more sensitive to hydrogen sulfide exposure. That is, they may have difficulty breathing at levels lower than people without asthma. How do we protect ourselves from H2S? Evaluate exposure to know if H2S gas is present and at what levels. Eliminate the source of hydrogen sulfide whenever possible. If the source cannot be eliminated, control exposures by using engineering controls as the next best line of defense, developing administrative controls and safe work practices to reduce exposures to safe levels. Use personal protective equipment if engineering controls and work practices alone cannot reduce hydrogen sulfide to safe levels. Warning: do not rely on your sense of smell to indicate the continuing presence of hydrogen sulfide or to warn of harmful levels. You can smell the rotten egg odor of hydrogen sulfide at low concentrations in air. After a while, you lose the ability to smell the gas, even though it's still present. This loss of smell can happen very rapidly and at high concentrations, and the ability to smell the gas can be lost instantly. Thank y'all for watching.